So 2025 Europe's Strongest Man, we now have a 2-time champion in Luke Richardson. It's been 5 years since he last won it.
2 times.
2 times, that's what I said.
Yeah. I'm
Oh.
just confirming.
Oh.
I'm not denying it.
Yeah. It's crazy. I was just like the fact I was saying to you that like the last time that Luke Richardson won this title, we weren't even making YouTube videos.
Yeah.
That's how long ago.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
And since then, he had a lot
of injuries,
setbacks.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think that Luke was I think was 22. I think he was 22 years of age when he won Europe's.
Mm-hmm.
That's where he got the nickname The Future. Everything kind of led from there, and like you're saying,
he's the present now.
He's the present. He's had hamstring tears, lat tears. He's had bicep issues.
Two tears in his biceps. Yeah.
And he still managed to overcome it all.
Yeah. Knee issues, I think.
Yeah.
He had knee surgery too.
He won. Very good performance.
Yes. Very stacked lineup.
Yes, like and we did say that even with the predictions video.
Yeah,
like it was very hard to predict.
He had a very passionate speech after he won the title. That there was a lot of doubters. I'm one of them. Yeah.
But
my bad, Luke. Anyways.
But look, the final podium, like there was one person there in particular that neither of us had down. So we had Luke Richardson.
Yeah.
We then had Paddy Haynes finishing in second. And then the strangest of all, Mateusz Kielikowski finishing third.
Yeah. And I think Kordiaka really underperformed.
So, like, because that's what I mean. Like, a lot of the events, if you look at them, are so well suited to Kordiaka. And it's just, it seems he's been focusing so much on trying to get his deadlift better that a lot of the other events are after slacking.
Like, he lost loads of points in overhead event, which I thought is not going to be the case. He just tried to split jerk that safe
press.
Oh, yeah, safe press. You can't do that.
No.
It's just so hard. In Paddy Haynes, he tried to do the same.
It's just wobbling everywhere.
Yeah, he almost got it.
Yeah, I know
but almost doesn't count.
Was it the second attempt? I think he nearly got it.
Yeah,
it was just when you see anyone that was lifting it, it's just wobbling everywhere. So that's where like the push press comes into it. Like that's where
you still need to have that static sort of pressing power.
Old school.
Yeah. Yes, with certain events and with this one, Kordiaka, like he just I don't know.
For somebody that
train that.
His technique is a bit different. Like he does have that kind of not a split jerk technique. It's kind of like a bounce.
No, he has he has that. But like in this event, specifically this event, and in the block press, I think it's close to impossible to use that technique. You know,
it'll end up hitting your face.
Yeah, like you just can't do it. You have to have that triceps power, and they didn't have that.
You see the guys that have it. So like Luke Richardson did very well. Mateusz Kielikowski very well. Andre Futu incredibly well. Yeah. Even Nicholas Camby did very well.
Yeah, like they all good pressers.
Nicholas Camby as well. When I seen with the dumbbell, it's just pure shoulder power.
Mateusz was so slow with his pressing.
Yeah,
was so slow. You can see only I think in axle press and on a second lift he used a little bit of his legs. I think he's still a bit like paranoid about his Achilles.
The only thing that saved him with the overhead medley was that he was able to Viper press. After that, if he didn't Viper press it,
he probably Luke Richardson would have took it.
Yeah,
would have took the win. No,
Futu came second, Richardson then. But like even you could see it was so close because even between Kielikowski and Richardson, they went together, and like the time difference was so small that even Futu got in between.
3 seconds, I think, 3 or 4 seconds, something like that. So it's very close, and Mateusz looked like he was really cautious.
Yes,
and he said that in interviews he's still like all these injuries in the back of his head, and he's like kind of like he's not the same basically.
He's still only 31.
I don't think that he'll ever be that reckless young guy who's like wants to run through the walls like it. I think it happens to all of us. It's just normal progression of strongman sport.
But talking about Kordiaka then again, so like again we're saying some of the events suited Kordiaka, and then when you go on to the shield carry, the second event, he just gassed out.
He gassed out. Yeah, he says he tweaked his hamstring.
Yeah,
and that's possible because we were talking. Yeah, it is. I was talking to Marius as well. He says, at the start when you start going fast, and then something happens in the body, and like maybe like pelvis a bit collapses, or something like shifts, or like it's possible to get that. Strain. Yeah. So I think it's quite possible that this happened, just a small strain because so it's so it wasn't that bad, and Paddy Haynes just smoked the event.
I think he got a new record. I think that is the new record, 89, 90, just under 90 meters.
Yeah, literally
like,
under.
It's like from then on you could see that's why Paddy ended up getting onto the podium because the overhead obviously wasn't his favorite.
Well, I think Mateusz made the mistake.
Yes, he did.
We discussed that. I think he made a mistake with the shield carry. he
Took
was
off too
way
fast.
too fast. You can't do that with a shield carry, I think. And you can see straight away, like you said, like we spoke before the video, like you said, he hit the wall. And I think that's what happens.
It's so weird. Like once he got to the, said, 2.5 links or whatever it was, it's just dead stop.
Yeah.
He didn't even try kind of shimmy it or do anything.
No,
he
that's it.
stop.
I think that's I showed you the video that I did against Lithuanian in Lithuanian competition against another Vidas Black Eyes Lithuanian guy as well. So he was the same. He straight out the gate, he was so fast, and I knew that it's you have to go for a distance, so you really have to pace yourself. And I focused a lot on the breathing. Like I never tried to race with him, and he tried to do that, and he ended up losing it. And I saw where he dropped the shield, and I just overtook. Just overtook it. Yeah, just looked at him and just said, I strategically I didn't make a mistake.
Yeah.
I think Mateusz made a mistake by going too fast because he was I think he was even faster than Paddy Haynes out of the gate.
Silly.
And then and I think it's again all these small points cost him the title at the end.
So onto the carry and drag, like we were saying in the predictions video, we thought it would include the anvil and then the anchor, and it did. And I think the main purpose, but from the sounds of it, is just for speed.
Yeah.
Because a lot of guys might be strong, but next thing when you get to the chain just doesn't work on the anchor, and it just costs you say the race. So 125 kilo anvil. A lot of guys were literally launching the anvil.
That's what I didn't like
so
that. Yeah, it was
dangerous.
The plastic things that measure the distance, they were flying
Sure,
everywhere
Magnus,
as well.
was it Colin Bryce or was it Neil Pickup? I think said it. Magnus Samuelson is literally in the first row, and he just
step
pulled
back.
his toes back.
Yeah. So I don't know. That was kind of like.
It's so dangerous. Like I know
they shouldn't be able to.
It should have been a barrier. or
something like that, or load on the.
Load onto
sort
a
of
bench or something.
And then you can go into.
I think
that launch as well. To me, that's like you kind of like. Yeah, you kind of like playing around with a couple of seconds as well, because if you launch it from the distance, it's just all you need to do is just land on a mat. That's
and then that counts,
and then you can run straight away.
Bounced or turned or something.
Yeah, so I don't know.
But then when it gets to the carry and drag, then you see like guys. So when you actually look at it, this show was a lot about hamstrings, posterior change, there's so much. And when you see the carry and drag, lads are literally like gassing out, they're burning up. And even at this stage, this is where we lost Luke Stoughton.
I actually texted Luke and I asked him, I was like, what actually happened? Like, because he won the Britons. I thought like he's going to be one of the favorites coming into this competition. And he said he picked up something like a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And he wasn't right. He was dehydrated. And even like you can see, even in the pressing, like usually his pressing is pretty good. And I know he lost a lot of weight and you would think it's like affect his pressing, but
his training seemed to be going so well that the pressing wouldn't have.
Yeah. So I believe him. I think there was probably something wrong with him. He tried to fight it out, but like he couldn't even get to the log. Like he couldn't even finish the axles.
But it's not something like muscle or say body damage, you know what I mean? Like, because you see when he came off the carry and drag, he was able to walk. He wasn't limping. He wasn't having to be carried. He just
I think he's just understood that there is no chance of him fighting for the title or even top 3.
Just save himself.
And I think at his age, he probably made a smart move. Just try to rehydrate and just go home, reset, and get ready for the world's strongest man.
In this event, we had something very crazy, and that Kilo Koski and Richardson shared the exact same time, so they ended up sharing points afterwards. A lot of people were saying, how could you be exactly the same time? They're on about laser levels and all this kind of, laser timers.
I don't think that we have that.
No, like how often does it happen to justify
not
it?
too often.
For the cost of it. It doesn't, like, I know in this situation, what, it was half a pint each. Now, how likely is this ever going to happen again? Probably never again.
No, it can happen, but like, not very often.
Not often enough.
Yeah, so.
And when you see the points at the end as well, it wasn't close enough to justify, say, going back and saying, you're after getting really like something.
I think like there's probably 3 guys who were pressing the times probably all together, and they when they press it, they just like there has to be like a draw as such. Like,
but even at that, like times are still very fast. A lot of guys right at the very end were falling, trying to pull it through.
Yeah.
So look, it was a very taxing event, and then you have to go from there into the deadlift. So hamstrings burned. Then you have to go into an event that's just the whole body is going to be damaged.
Yeah, and that's the event where usually.
At this stage now, Mateusz was in like good standings.
Yeah, he was in good standings, and again, deadlift. Like, he managed to get 3 reps. I think he got the 4th one, but after the time, so he was disallowed. That's why he's usually loses all the points
And
at deadlift, and he did it again,
Yeah.
basically. You know.
Now,
So.
if he had got the forward rep, it would have given him an extra, another point. It
Yeah.
probably would have tied him at the very end of Paddy, but then, like, when it goes into the final event, the stones, you see, it doesn't make a difference anyway. But when it came to the deadlift, like, everybody at this stage was taxed. So even though everybody was fried, like, Rauno Heinlein managed to get 8 reps. Paddy Haynes very impressively got 8 reps as well. Nakanichny had the record with 11 reps on this, so very impressive as well.
Nakanichny's, when he was healthy, he was
an animal.
He was an animal, yeah.
But when it came to the deadlift, like, everybody got between the 3 and 5 kind of mark. That was the average. So, like, if you had got 4 reps for Mateusz,
I think it would have made a difference as well. Like, and on points and mentally as well, going to the last event, So, and Luke Richardson, you see, his deadlift is still not there. I think, like, when he was before the hamstring injury and lat injury, I think he would have been doing 7-8 reps as well.
world class kind of stuff.
Yeah, because his deadlift is he's just insanely good. Like all his powerlifting lifts very good.
He's very good technique as well.
So squats and deadlifts used to be what 430s deadlift, I think.
Like that,
So you can see he's not there yet as well, and he now holds the Europe Strongest Man title.
Second time.
Yeah, second time, which is very impressive with a very good lineup. So my question would be how the deadlift will affect him in World Strongest Man.
Yeah, because he said himself that he focused a bit on cardio and things like that. So maybe his strength is after coming back. The volume of training maybe is after reducing because he's focusing on trying to get
his
the cardio.
static strength to me looked pretty good.
Still normal after considering the amount of events that were
his
there.
His overhead was pretty spot on.
But then we see Paddy Haynes getting 8 reps after everything that was after going on.
Yeah,
his deadlifts is just crazy.
Yeah, he's very athletic guy.
Yeah,
he's very athletic guy. Yeah, he's not the biggest guy by any means.
Between 125 and 130.
Yeah, so that's not a lot. His upper body is you can see he's not
so fit.
His legs are very good, very strong, and he's very good at moving as well. And his stamina is pretty insanely impressive.
So coming into the final event, then into the Atlas Stones, we had kind of a 4-horse race. So we had Luke Richardson, Andre Futu, Kilo Skowski, and Paddy Haynes. All 4 of them fighting out for the title. So it kind of got to a stage that you'd say, right, the Stones, a quick time on Stones would justify the win.
Yeah.
And with Mateusz, I thought Mateusz 5 stones easy. He's going to land on the podium.
No.
And I think it's just for the grace of God that he got to 4 stones.
Again, he hesitated on the last stone. It's not the first time. He did the same when I was competing with him in Denmark.
Yeah.
Where I was just focusing on the whole run, and then he was ahead of me to the last stone. I think it was 205 kilos. I can't remember exactly. And I didn't even look at him. I just loaded and I won the whole show. And he wanted to rest. I don't know why, because you don't do that.
He's able for it.
Yeah. Because he did. He lowered the stone.
Yeah.
I was like, so why you were resting? Just go. Yeah.
Stuff.
So I think he did that a bit of a hesitation in Europe's Strongest Man as well. And I think when the stone, he couldn't get it, he just gave up because he understood there's no chance of him fighting for that first place anymore.
Yeah, it was the same with Futu. Futu only got the 4 stone.
Yeah.
So because Paddy got the 5 stones, it managed to get him that point to get into second place.
Yeah.
So it's kind of lucky with Paddy Haynes that the other guys couldn't finish it, but it also shows that Paddy
Futu is so impressive as well. He was going through competition, placing really well in every event.
Yeah. And he kind of went under the radar onto the podium.
Yeah, almost onto the podium. Yeah. So to me, he was potentially he could have even won the whole thing as well if the things really went this way. But so he's back in the mix, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
then.
23 years of age.
Yeah, 23 years of age. Dude doesn't look 23 at all. If you ask me.
But look, it goes to show that Futu, it's good to see that we have good European say athletes like that. Now, I know Luke Richardson, Paddy Haynes. It's now Paddy Haynes is going to World's Strongest Man. He's after getting the invite,
good,
so he's happy. He's over the moon. Kilo Skowski going to Worlds as well. He has the title.
He has other competition, I think, before that.
Yeah,
he's going to that
Siberian Pro
Cup.
Show.
Yeah.
So look, again, it's a very good show overall. It's good to see that Luke Richardson's back to the way he was.
Yeah.
And hopefully he stays that way going into the World's Strongest Man. You might see a European champion again.
Yeah, hopefully he can. I don't know. I don't think that he can improve deadlifts. I think deadlift is, again, if he's going to be in the finals and if he can't perform pretty well, I think it's very hard for him to. It's going to be very hard for him to crack top 3. But potentially, looking at the way he is now, and if he stays like that or even improves a little bit, top 5 at least, top 3 as well, very possible.
Very
the world's
possible.
strongest man.
So look, let us know in the comment section down below what you thought of Europe's Strongest Man. Did you like the show? Was there certain things you would have changed about with events or athletes? Look, we'd love to see it all. As well as that, we've seen with Lucas Hatton, he said that Europe's Strongest Man kind of has the events before Worlds. So the athletes know the events at the moment, according to Paddy Haynes. He's not allowed to say. But look, let us know if you actually like these events, if you'd like to see some of our World's Strongest Man. But like always, comment anything down below. We love seeing it. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And if you are subscribed, please press the bell icon. It'll keep you up to date with everything that's Lalas Brothers. And we'll see you in a future video.
See you later, guys.